Cuffs are off, man. Get right. Too many left in these leagues, but I ain't gonna...
Hey everybody, Adam Rank here.
What's up everybody? It's Marcus Grant from NFL Network.
This is AJ Dillon of the Green Bay Packers.
I got to give a shout out to y'all at Get Right Fantasy.
If you are not subscribed, what are you waiting for? You want to lose your league?
Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network.
You got to get right with the Get Right Fantasy Network.
Best of luck with your podcast. Appreciate the support.
And you're tuned in to watch my boys at Get Right Fantasy Network. Get you right. Enjoy the show.
Marking nothing, but I tune in every Friday. Strategies provided, I will lock in every way. So go and roll your sleeves up, yeah. Go and roll your sleeves up. And I'm getting down, cause I roll my sleeves up. And I'm getting right, cause I roll my sleeves up.
What up? What up? What up, world? We are back. I'm Anthony, aka Rasta. This is Get Right Fantasy Network, and I'm here with your boy FishinFrank today. What's up, Frank? How you doing tonight, man?
What's up, folks? Doing good.
Awesome, man. We're back
Love
here.
that new intro, man. I gotta say,
it is pretty cool, man. I like it too. Gets me fired up before we start here.
Right.
But yeah, man, we're back doing our mock grades tonight, man. We're gonna be breaking down our mock from Friday, from our Friday night mocks sessions there. So we had a 1 QB. 3 wide receiver, 1 flex, which is going to be the same format for a mock draft tournament. More on that to come here in a little bit. But we're going to break it all down for you, do our draft grades, kind of show you what we're thinking, in regards to these teams that were drafted again on Friday. So we'll get into it here. But before we do, of course, I got to tell you a little bit here about our sponsor. We couldn't do it without UnderdogFantasy.com. So for those of you guys who don't know, it is a best ball platform where you can come out and draft in a best ball team, which is basically no waivers, no trading. You just draft your team. It'll automatically set the best lineup for you every week. They have different tournaments from as little as $3 and $5 all the way up to 25, or 250 and $1,000 buy-ins and things like that. So just depending on where you're at. You can get in there. But so if you do go sign up, make sure you sign up with that promo code GETRIGHT to get that 100% deposit match when you make that first deposit up to $100. And again, they have a bunch of season-long pick'ems, higher, lowers, rivalry picks. And of course, make sure you guys check out their Best Ball Mania 4 tournament, $15 million prize pool, $3 million to first place, $2 million to second, $1 million to third. They're making 3 millionaires in this tournament. So hopefully you could be one of them. Hopefully I could be one of them. And we'll get in. It's only a $25 buy-in to do that. So make sure you go sign up. Again, use that promo code GETRIGHT unless you're in a couple of the states that we have here for you. So Frank, why don't you tell them, unfortunately, where they may not be able to get in?
Oh, I don't actually have that list of right.
Oh, it's okay. I got you right here. Connecticut, Delaware, Hawaii,
here it is.
Idaho,
Yeah.
Iowa. It's all good. Louisiana, Michigan, Montana, Nevada, Ontario, Canada, and Washington. So unfortunately, it's not there yet, but they'll get it coming soon. So again, UnderdogFantasy.com. Use that promo code GETRIGHT. All right. So speaking of tournaments too, we'll start to pull this thing up here. But while we're at it, our mock draft tournament of champions popped off tonight. So we had our first qualifying mock start off. So basically, Dustin, Frank, myself, and Classic Mike, we're going to be grading those tonight and tomorrow. The top 3 will get an invite to the Friday semifinal round, and they'll have a chance to compete to make the finale. And we have another qualifying round going off tomorrow. All of them are full right now, but if you are interested, just hit me up. We'll get you on a standby list. We had to have a couple people pop in today. Life happens, but we definitely have a list going. So if you're still interested, and also the week 2 draft lobbies are open now too. So there is a link in the description. Just hit it right there. You can grab your spot for next week and come in here, man. Get your chance to come take our money if you think you have what it takes, man.
And they're filling up pretty fast, right, Anthony? So
Yeah.
if you don't get in, definitely send a message. Let us know you're still interested. Again, like Anthony said, there are standbys. Things happen. So sometimes guys can't make a draft, and you're around. You're like, boom, I made it in. You know what I mean? So, let us know because there's plenty of guys out here that's trying to just get their mock in. It's, we're coming up to a first football game here coming up.
Yeah, Hall of Fame game, man, this week
Right.
on
Exciting.
Thursday.
Exciting, dude.
We'll get a little
Some football
taste.
going
We'll
on.
get
A
a
little bit of
little
something. A
taste.
little bit of something, right?
A little taste, man. I'll take it for sure. So yeah, so let's get into it, man. That's why the people are here with us tonight. They want to get their feedback on this mock here. So
So
let's
we got
without any
Fantasy
further
Fish
ado, let's
here
get
and
into it,
Thomas
man.
up in here. What's up, guys?
Oh,
So
we
just
got
say what's
some.
up real quick, everybody.
What
Real
up,
quick.
baby? How's it going, everybody? Oh, even Dustin's in the chat. What's up? How's it going, Thomas? He did his first mock with us today. I just met him. He's a brand new subscriber. And so he's saying, yeah, he did his first one, and this must not be it. So yeah, so this is actually the mock we did on
Friday.
Friday. We will. This is our last one that we're actually grading like this. The rest of them are just part of the tournament. So we've been actually doing these every Friday since like I don't know April or something like that. So this is
Basically, as soon as
next year you guys can get in with us.
as soon as football season after the draft starts happens, and then we get set up with the doing mocks and just talking football from there on. Really, honestly, right? Because that's where
Absolutely.
the dynasty leagues start, and I know that's where we're starting. We draft soon after that, so it's like on early for the degenerates.
Absolutely. For sure. Full degeneracy in here. All right, man. So let's get into it here. Let's not let the people wait anymore. Let's you want to start from the front or you want to start from the back this time? Just
I'd say
I know
we should go from
sometimes
the
we start
back
switching up. All right, so we'll switch it up.
because I actually
Sorry,
graded that
sorry,
way.
Jeezy. There you go. Sometimes it's easier to grade that way.
Yeah,
Or just to switch it up a little bit.
yeah.
All right, go ahead. You can read it off. You go first.
So, GZ here
Jessel.
got.
No, we're going Jessel. We're going backwards from the 12th spot.
Oh, Jessel. I thought it called Jesse.
Yeah, it was, but I saw in his actual when he commented on the chat, it actually is Jessel.
Oh, nice.
So
Jessel 94 in
yeah.
the 12th spot, coming in with CD Lamb, my boy. Amon St. Brown, the Sun God. You got Keenan Allen, Travis Etienne, Trevor Lawrence here. And you got Christian Kirk. So you got a stack of 3 Jacksonville players right there. You got
Good
Darren
picks.
Waller, Antonio Gibson, Rashad Bateman. I think he's got injured also. David A. Chain, Jalen Warren, Jacoby Myers, Leonard Fournette, and Marvin Mims at the rounding off the wide receivers. Yeah, let me look at my notes real quick on this guy. I kind of like the team from start, where it was going. Went 0 RB strategy. I think he missed on the second good running back, going for Christian Kirk, and has that super stack there. I think he would have been better off going for another running back there. I'm just not really too keen on Antonio Gibson, and where he, you know what I mean, like to have them as your number 2, I guess. But I guess that's kind of how it works out when you're doing 0 RB strategy. And I do like the other running back picks that he did take later. That's always important to have some. I think Warren would be something later on this year. Not sure what Fournette is going to be. He worked out for I think the Patriots it was, but they haven't called him back. So did I think Zeke went over to the Patriots as well. So who knows? Maybe they're trying out some people to get some depth over there. But you know what I mean. He's missing something there to me. Um, well, I still give him a B though, solid B I think.
Nice. I'm having some camera issues right now, but I think my audio is still good. You can still hear me, right?
I can hear you. So yeah.
All right, so we're good.
Oh yeah,
I'll
yeah.
fix that later.
You're frozen.
Yeah, I've been trying to work on it here.
Sorry, I
It's
was
been
looking at
giving
other
me.
screens while you're doing that, so it happens.
No, as long as you can hear me, it's good. Plus, we have the draft board up, so you don't need to see me at the moment. But yeah, so I came in about a B plus, kind of leaning towards a B. Basically, to me, Jessel put together what I like to call the villain RB build. So instead of going hero RB when you're drafting that first RB in the first 2 rounds, kind of getting a more elite guy. You're kind of starting off with the RB2 that could potentially be an RB1 if things kind of go the same. So that's why I like to call it kind of a villain RB build.
Yeah.
Basically getting your 3 wide receivers, that 1 running back, and then a nice quarterback. Ideally, you want to get that one of those 3 elite quarterbacks, I think, in that type of build to try to make up for that RB1 fall, so to speak. And then this one with I like all these players individually, T-Law, ETN, of course, and my affinity for Christian Kirk as well. One of my favorite picks at basically where he's going kind of later here as a wide receiver 4. And getting the trio stack, I mean, I don't hate it if you're going to do it. Like, this is one of the offenses to kind of do it on, or at least take your shot with it. So I mean, I don't completely hate it, but again, it is kind of just putting your, all your eggs in one basket. And when coming to bye weeks and things like that, or if
Yeah.
there's just a bad game there, bad matchups and defense, you could be hurting that week. But ultimately, if they go off, it could, set you ahead. Let alone you do have those 3, other pretty much stud wide receivers. Keenan Allen as a wide receiver 3 is not bad. Um, I do like Antonio Gibson, as in this villain RB type build. You're just kind of taking shots at guys late that have some upside. A little bit of PPR here with Gibson. I'm a fan of Bateman. I think getting him here late, if he wasn't hurt and have the injury issues, again as a wide receiver 5, this is a guy I think who could be a wide receiver 2.
Yeah.
So I like buying the dip
Yeah,
there.
if you don't need him early, like he has plenty of wide receivers early, as long as he can wait out for his injury and have him come back. Yeah, I could see that happening.
Yeah, and so yeah, I do like that Bateman pick there. I like taking the shot with Devon A. Chain, man. That guy just has wheels. He's going to make plays happen. I like him a little more in best ball because it's it'd be hard to understand when to start him. But if there is, or if or when, more so likely is an injury to either Jeff Wilson or Raheem Mostert, who've typically shown they can't really stay healthy all year. He could have an opportunity to put up some points in a high-powered offense. Getting the handcuff here and Jalen Warren, typical hero or villain, RB status there, banking on injury to Najee Harris, or even maybe having some standalone
I
flex.
think he's going to have some standalone flex value.
Yep, and you could
I
have
like
that
him.
there.
I like him more than A Chain, honestly.
There you go. And to finish it out here with Myers Fournette, I'm not real big on taking these guys who haven't signed yet, especially someone like for Fournette, who worked out with the Patriots and then didn't sign, and then they even bring in Zeke just a couple days ago.
Yeah.
So obviously, he's not showing well. They need some depth behind Stevenson there. So the fact that they've tried both these guys kind of shows me really we shouldn't be taking them in fantasy. They're not really fantasy relevant yet. I think there's going to need to be a significant injury for one of these guys to potentially get signed, and probably
Yeah,
more so also as
they
a
just
depth piece.
literally need to be signed on a team. Like literally.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
even Dalvin Cook's not signed. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly. And then here with Marvin Mims, that's definitely a nice pick. Obviously, we didn't know what happened to Tim Patrick, so shout out to Tim Patrick, man. Best wishes out to him. Looks like to believe to be a torn Achilles here that happened in training camp today, first day of pads. When you're getting these alerts, you're just hoping it's not one of these guys that are important to your
Injuries.
fantasy
Yeah.
team. It's
Yeah.
tough. You feel for them, of course, as humans, but also there's that element of kind of Russian roulette, so to speak. You're playing, with these guys hopefully getting hurt, or maybe not, or not hopefully getting hurt, but hopefully trying to stay healthy, not getting hurt here in
Avoiding
training camp.
injuries. Yeah.
Exactly. So this could be a big pickup. We'll probably see Mims start flying up the draft boards here with that Tim Patrick news. He's a big play guy, field stretcher. So overall, I do like the build. Couple, picks here and there. Maybe I've done different, but like I said, I'm kind of in that B plus B range on this team.
Yeah, we're about the same. Perfect.
All right, so let's move on to Shaw
I like
Dog.
not being too far off, but sometimes we got to differ a little bit, right?
Absolutely. So yeah, go ahead.
So we got
Go-
Shaw Dog 69 coming in with Saquon Barkley and Nick Chubb running with 2 running backs off the bat. Then he takes Jalen Hurts. So you can see on the board there was a run right there happening on the QBs, and he got in on that with Jalen Hurts. And he gets Brees Hall going running back heavy, which I thought, I don't know, you know what I mean? I guess because they could just basically go in the flex. So he's running 3 running backs versus 3 wide receivers, which is, there is 3 wide receivers needed in this league. So I kind of was putting a little bit more emphasis on those. Because if they're being used up as flex or whatever, you need to have even more, right? So he ends up with D Hop over here in Tennessee. Let's see how that works out over there. Hopefully, good things, right? New team, new system. Mike Williams, who I like, James Cook. I think somebody just got hurt over there at Buffalo,
Naeem
or
Hines.
yeah. So he's gonna get some more um, touches there, and it just looks a little bit better for him. It's coming up here. Not sure if he needed them there, but he still ended up with Tyler Lockett, which has been putting up numbers year after year. Right? Elijah Moore, Rondale Moore. So you got the Moore guys here. Cole Kmet going late with the tight end, and even picked up backup quarterback Aaron Rodgers. That's a nice spot to get him at. Antonio Pierce, and then filling shit off with Jerome Ford, who Anthony likes a lot. He's having me come around with them. So yeah, I like the team overall. What did I put on my show notes here? Uh, Good running back group, but missed on wide receiver, I think, a little bit. But I like his. I think his best pick is the last pick there with Jerome Ford. I gave him a solid B.
Man, I guess we're getting kind of close here today. I
Two for
came in
sh-
also, yeah. So we're 2 for 2 on this one. I came in with the B as well. Basically, I saw Shaw Dog coming in here with this robust RB, grabbing those 3 running backs in the first 4 rounds. When you do something like that, I think having D Hop fall to you as your wide receiver 1, it's not ideal. Of
Not
course,
bad.
there's definitely nice guys, but to me, after going 3 running backs and grabbing an elite quarterback in the late third, which was great value on its own, I think it makes up for that. I understand why he kind of went Brees there as the RB3. Typically, I'm not against Brees, but usually people are drafting him as an RB2, which I still can't get behind right now. But if you want to stash him as an RB3 with 2 solid, running backs ahead of them like that, to where your entire team isn't basically built on that pick, then I'm okay with it, because at the end of the year and a half PPR, you can still flex him late. If he does end up returning, to good form and help you get through those playoffs, then I think that pick could pay off. Then I think he does get some good value at wide receiver with Williams. He kind of goes in different places in drafts depending on the group you're in and how people are feeling about him. Of course, still dealing with that lingering back injury, but then goes and gets Lockett in the 3rd round, which is almost blasphemy. But a great pick for him there. And I'm not really
Going
sold on
really late.
those.
No respect right there, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not really sold on the what I call the Super More Brothers. Instead of the Super Mario Brothers, we'll go with the Super More Brothers there. But I think it does kind of end nicely there with Komet, Rogers, and Pierce, and ends up getting Ford to handcuff Chubb. But I wanted to ask you, because he did it here. How do you feel about kind of handcuffing your own your own running backs, Frank?
Um, I'm a for and against. It depends on how who you're talking, right? Like somebody like Chubb, who's not very injury prone or something like that, then I don't like it that much. But if you have it and you do it late like that with the late pick like that, then why not? Now, the ones that I don't like are when you handcuff running back where they do a lot of timeshare, right? Where they're running back by committee, and now you shouldn't have those, because you should be starting one or the other, even though they're not going to produce that well. One week somebody gets the runs and the touchdowns, and the other week the other guy gets it. Kind of like in Chicago last year with Montgomery and help me out.
Swift?
Nah, it's not Swift.
Oh, that's
Over
this
at
year.
yeah, that's this year.
Well,
But you get the idea. Anyways, anybody
Montgomery
running
had
back
it
by
last year,
committee
but
situation
yeah,
where
Herbert.
you can't nail down the lead running back or the guy who's going to get the most touches. You don't want to handcuff those 2 guys. You know what I mean? But you do want to handcuff, the lead running back, of a team that's basically that they don't do running back by committee, right? You got the workhorse running back, and that's who you want to handcuff.
Absolutely. All right, so we'll move on here. We both got B's there for Shaw Dog. We'll move on to Flag RJ. Go right ahead. Read it off.
Okay, so we
Still
got
working on
Flag
my camera
RJ,
here.
Steph Diggs, with Devontae Adams. So he's going wide receiver off the bat with Josh Allen. So he was in on that quarterback run. Like it with Ken Walker starting as his RB1. Then Christian Watson again from Green Bay. I like the pick. TJ Hawkinson in the 6th. Isaiah Pacheco. That's his RB2. So hopefully that dude actually pans out to get more touches and more work over there at KC, because that's yet to be seen. Michael Pittman, Elijah Mitchell out of San Francisco. So he's basically handcuffed to McCaffrey over here. Samaje Perine. You got Tyler Boyd, Rashee Rice, which I know Anthony likes. Bryce Young, late quarterback backup here, and then Chuba Hubbard rounding it out. So not a bad team.
Chuba.
Chuba, yeah, Chuba. Isaiah Pacheco, as an RB2 is scary. You know what I mean to me. But hopefully it works out. He was having a decent year last year. Um, I kind of like what the heck's his name? I can't even think of his name right now. Who's the other running back over there in KC?
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
CEH. No, the other one.
And
Even.
Jarek McKinnon,
Derek McKinnon. Even.
and they even
I
have
think
a
I
new
would.
guy.
Yeah,
Go
and that
ahead.
so with all that, with all those guys there, I mean, who are you going to really say that's who you're falling on? And this guy's falling on Isaiah Pacheco being as his RB2. So that's kind of like where he drops off, I think. You know what I mean? Kenneth Walker also kind of similar situation over there, anyways. So
He's hurt
he's
right
fighting.
now with a
Yeah,
groin.
yeah, and he's fighting for his spot too. Yeah, he's also hurt, so not looking too bright over there. You know, um, Let me look at what did I ended up grading him at over here, FLJ. I ended up giving a C.
Okay,
After all that, you know what I mean? I think he missed on too much. Missed some things.
I see. All right. Well, for me, I came in at a B on this team. Kind of leaning a little towards B minus. To me, kind of came in with a modified hero or zero kind of hybrid type build. You get that Allen Diggs stack. Get Bryce Young, like you said, as a late QB2, which is fine. I don't see it really necessary. I'd rather take a shot at a wide receiver or running back there. I do like the running back room. It's no one really sexy per se, like you said. But to me, it could work out, kind of week to week. But just no like true alpha RB1 on this team,
No.
which is why it kind of makes it like a hybrid to me. I think the wide receiver room does have potential, but there is risk there, of course, with Adams and Watson. But if those guys both hit, and Adams is who he's been, and Watson is that guy he was the second half of last year, then that wide receiver room could really pop. I don't like the Pittman this year as much. To me, I would have went like Burks or maybe I probably would have been hoping Lockett fell, and maybe that's what he was doing, but got sniped one pick before. I think that would have made this team really good. Like you said, I do like Rice, and I definitely had to note that. Gets his top three, tight end and Hawkinson. And so overall, I like it. It's a little kind of compounded risk early again with that Adams Watson kind of pick. But like the upside to me is there with some elite talent. So I'll bet on talent, kind of not necessarily over a situation. But I think those guys should get the most targets on their team respectfully. And Adams should contend with top targets in the entire league. Could potentially see upwards of 150, 160 targets this year. So I'll take a chance on that, even if it is coming from Jimmy G. So again, I came in at a B, maybe leaning a little more towards B minus, kind of somewhere in the middle. If it was like a percentage grade, I guess I'd be like at 82 and a half, 83 percent there. So,
Yeah.
in
I
that
think
B,
you just
B
like the
minus
running
range.
back more than I did, right? I didn't. I was. I think that's the
Yeah,
only
I'm
difference
a
here,
little
'cause we
higher
agree
on
on the.
Pacheco.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we agree on the wide receivers. Yeah, you're higher on Pacheco than I am. I'm
And
not.
I still like Walker. I think, I just think he has that big playability. So again, he's not a bell cow. He's not going to get a lot of the receiving work. May lose some of the short yardage and goal line work, but that's not always a bad thing. And I think he could still, produce with it. So again, for this build, when you're getting Diggs and Adams ahead and you have Allen, that's going to kind of erase some of that, you know, RB kind of drop off, I guess you would say.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
overall, I don't hate it. So not a bad team. So good job, Flag RJ. We'll move on here to Pasadena Patriots, drafting out of the 9 spot. Go right ahead.
Uh, so let's read it
Kelsey
off. I
build.
was just looking at my notes real quick. So he's the guy that took Kelsey here. What is it? In the 10th spot? 10, 11, 12, 9th spot. With Garrett Wilson, Patrick Mahomes. So he gets the stack in KC. Jerry Judy, Cam Akers, George Pickens in Pittsburgh. I like it right there. Jamal Williams, Denver. Traylon Burks has got a nice setup this year, but then they drop in D Hops, but I think he'll still be doing all right over there. Um, Jamal Williams, he's got a suspension, isn't he? So we got Jameson Williams. So we got to
Yeah,
see
6
where
games.
6 games, right? So he's got a little bit of time to come back. So you're not going to have him for a while. I like Jarek McKinnon personally, where he gets him at. See how much later it is, and I think he's going to get a piece of that same offense, which is still a stack with KC because he's got again Mahomes and
Yeah,
Kelsey. So
buddy.
it's deep over here with KC, and then he gets Sky Moore. Then he goes even deeper, right? Now we got 4 players on KC. But if you're going to get any kind of guys like that, if you're going to get a stack, I think you go stack with like this kind of type team with that's a high powered offense where you're going to get a lot of points, and they get that's it. I mean, you know what I mean? They score and they score big. So then you got Darnell Mooney, Sam Laporta, the tight end. way late to back up, Kelsey, which is, why not? Let's get a rookie, and he got him way late. Then we get Gus Edwards rounding out the team. I really like the team. I think this is one of the better builds. Who he has, the players, the potential that he has with some of them. Let's see if Cam Akers has a bounce back year this year. He wasn't too good last year, but Williams, hopefully he pans out with returning from the injury. But I like McKinnon and Edwards still late. What did I end up? I think I gave him a B plus A type area. I mean, leaning more towards the A. I think.
Okay. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
My camera is completely on the fritz, but I'm getting
Yeah.
it restarted. But as long as you can hear me, we're good.
We're good.
So we are on to Pasadena Patriots. What'd you say you came in with on this one?
I'm coming up with the A minus B high, low A, still in the
Really?
A, high B
Interesting.
plus.
Okay, so for Pasadena here, I came in at a C, leaning towards
you
C
don't like 'em?
minus.
Oh,
It's the Kelsey build, man. Not a lot of people can pull it off. It is hard to do. He did get the stack with Mahomes in the third versus the second, which I thought was really good. To take that risk to see if he would fall to you. So I think he started off fantastic. By not just immediately going after Mahomes, getting Garrett Wilson in there,
yeah.
who's essentially like his wide receiver 2. So he's definitely, has a big advantage there. Then gets a Mahomes, one of the elite QBs.
Which I think is going to be a really nice wide receiver this year with Aaron Rodgers throwing to him. And I've seen some early practices, and those guys look spot on right now already.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that's good. I like it through the Judy and Akers pick. And then right here is just kind of where he loses me. I'm not big on
Akers.
Pickens. I think when you waited this long, to go with running back here in a Kelsey build, you can't take a chance on someone like Javonte Williams. Like I think you need to get, either Pacheco, maybe an Antonio Gibson, type guy. Brian Robinson kind of went a little while later. But I think like a Pacheco or James Cook in this spot would have been a little better. And then if Williams happened to fall, as your RB3, same, thought process behind Brees Hall, then I'd like it a little better. I mean, there are, of course, he's been cleared for contact and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just not leaning towards guys that are coming back from ACLs. Again, referring back to the Tim Patrick situation today, dealing with the ACL last year, comes back full, getting in training camp here first day, starts to, exert himself in pads, and boom, the Achilles goes. So that's just compensation because you're trying to train so hard to try to get back. And then, your body's just not quite right. It takes you about a full year, even after you're technically healed. It takes still another full year after that, like we've seen with all these players, including elite players like Barkley. They'll have flashes, they'll have games, but then they're going to succumb to some type of injury, some type of compensation injury. And for me, I'm just not taking that risk in redraft. Like I said, I've been buying them in Dynasty if I can. Same thing with Brees. I like the Burks pick here as your wide receiver 4. I mean, I don't hate the Jameson Williams pick, but again, it is what it is. But then getting all this stack with McKinnon and Moore to go with Kelsey and Mahomes. I mean, if you are going to go all in on an offense, I mean, I guess this is the one to do it on. So,
right?
I mean, I can't add it.
That's what I said.
Much.
I was like, if you pick any team that you're going to go with, you might as well go with this one, right?
Right. It's just, I wish the, players were just, a little better, just talent wise, at least, or we've seen some production. McKinnon's okay, but, we don't know we're getting out of Moore. You already got Kelsey. You're just really kind of getting all the way down. Then I really don't like the Mooney pick this year. I would have went like DJ Chark or somebody else in that situation for me personally. Laporta, I don't mind. And then Gus Edwards is fine with me. But just kind of that middle part of the draft from like Pickens to basically, up until Laporta. So what is that, like rounds 6 through 12 to me, or just kind of, it just kind of went a little sideways, which makes it fall into that C minus range for me. So that's where I'm at on this one. Don't hate me, Pasadena. I still love you, bro.
I liked it, so don't worry.
And that just shows you you're finally starting to see some different things. And what's funny is usually I'm the one higher on the Kelsey builds than you are.
Yeah, He just I just like that it worked out because he did get Wilson in between. It wasn't just Mahomes, Kelsey. Getting the Wilson in between really helped a lot. Judy's going to be up there more because of Patrick now. Akers and the running backs is what we got the high question marks on, but if they work out for him, he'll be fine. And I think with Pickens and Burks, I think he'll fill it out. I mean, he really just needs to weather the storm. I think a little bit, and he'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's, you know,
Those Kelsey builds are hard to pull off, man. I had to try to do it in my Scott Fish Bowl. You pay for it other places, but you just hope that advantage at tight end and quarterback, make up for it. Again, if there were two guys that can do it, those are the two to be. So, I could be wrong, but heading into the season, there's a couple other teams here I'd like a little more. But yeah, so we got Classics Mike team next. We're gonna skip this one. He talked about it a lot on Friday. Anyway, like all of his favorite picks and everything were all from his own team. So he's kind of self-promoting there. So we won't spend too much time or any time on
Taylor.
it. Just go back and watch that episode. I think that was before all this new stuff even came out too, but yeah, I mean, I'm
not sure if I'm drafting JT. That's it.
He really liked this team, but
yeah,
I wasn't as big on it, but is what it is. So we'll move on. So let's go to KJ Flint here in the 7th spot. Go ahead, read it off.
Checking it out real quick. He lost me. Got Watson. So we got KJ Flint starting off with Tyreek Hill here. And then we go Derrick Henry, Joe Mixon, and Scary Terry running out with the Fields. He did a classic 2 running back, 2 wide receivers in the first 4 rounds. Get your wide receiver, get your quarterback, right? So I think it's a good build already. I like the players that he has right off the bat there. I like Justin Fields this year. I think this is where he went a little early with Jordan Addison. I think he'd have waited on him some. And going Rashad Penny, Goddard, I guess is a good spot around there because that's about where he's going, I think, in the area, and I think that's what he's worth. Adam Thielen here, OBJ, who's getting special treatment over there, I guess, because he's doing fingertip catches, and the other Baltimore players was like, "You don't like that when we do it," and it's like a little thing. Did you see that video?
No.
Oh yeah, he did a little fingertip catch, and the coach is like, "Yeah, we like to see that around here. Yeah, we like that." And the other guys are like, "No, you don't." Anyway, so Tyler Bigsby, Jared Goff here, rounding out the quarterbacks. I'm sorry, Tyler Bixby, and then Tyler Higbee.
Tank Bixby.
And then
but yeah,
Tank Bixby. I'm sorry, I even said it all about it. And then Paris Campbell rounding out the end of the team here. But I end up looking on. Let me check out my notes here for this guy. I just, other than what I mentioned earlier, Addison a little bit too early. I like the start of the team. At going 2 running back, 2 wide receivers, and the quarterback there. The rest of it is kind of just hodgepodge thrown in there to me. And I think it's a pretty decent team. Still B, maybe a B plus.
B plus, not bad. Let's see. So for me, for Mr. KJ Flint, I came in at the B minus, kind of C, leaning a little more towards C plus. It was a balanced build to me. I think it just kind of took what the draft gave him. Being right here in the middle, it's kind of hard. I do like the QB pairing with Fields and Goff, getting that high rushing upside guy that we maybe don't know what he's going to do, passing wise. Basically pairing him with a pocket passer who we know could finish, top 12. Just don't like those picks kind of 8 or 9 through 10 and 11-ish on this team either. Just kind of like that dead zone. To me, I'd rather take shots with more like lotto ticket type guys. And so just, these vet guys that he did take in this area was just, not who I'm looking for, there. I'd rather kind of target a little more running backs because I usually typically go hero running back type build. So I'm usually looking running backs in this round. I just like the value with the running backs a little more than the wide receivers. I think they could kind of outperform their ADP a little more there. And, there's like Mitchell and P. Ryan and McKinnon in full PPR, and even, Damian Harris. I don't mind the, Tank Bigsby pick. I think that's not a bad handcuff type guy and could have some standalone value. Some goal line work, could be flexible. But just, I think you could have took some guys earlier like Lockett or even Burks, just to kind of help out that wide receiver room a little more, versus Thielen and Beckham. Just older guys kind of towards the end of their career. Beckham talking about retiring already, whatever kind of catches you're talking about in practice. That's just practice, man. It's practice. Like, you got me out here sounding like Allen Iverson. But yeah, I mean, like I said, there's just a ton of guys on that turn, at that when he was on the clock with Thielen, that I would have liked, more, including Bateman. I mean, I'd rather take my chances on Bateman as well. So, is what it is. Otherwise, not too bad. But yeah, I mean, B minus C plus because I do see the upside. So that's where I'm at. We'll move on to Jake the Snake.
Jake the
Go right
Snake
ahead.
Roberts over here. One of my favorite worldwide wrestling type guys here. But he starts off with Bijan Robinson. Then we go with the Waddle, and then he gets Mark Andrews. He's the next guy with the tight end off the board. Takes him in round 3. What do you think about that? Hold on, we'll get back to it. Hold on, let me come back to that. So look, we got Lamar Jackson. He gets a stack there in Baltimore with Chris Godwin, Marquise Brown here coming back out of Arizona. Then you got Dalvin Cook, who's unsigned, so that's your running back RB2 that we were just talking about a little bit earlier. Is you got to make sure these guys are on teams. I'm sure he may have a team at the beginning of the year, but what if he doesn't? Now you got a guy that you're not even starting until you get over here with Jamal Williams coming out of New Orleans, who's not even started over there. You know what I mean? So it's kind of crazy to me. But you got to throw it in there if that guy's good value at that point. Hopefully it works out for you. You got Greg Davis, who really gave Davis, who he gave away a jersey last year for that guy. Zay Flowers coming up, and again I just mentioned the Williams. Then he goes Singletary as well, so he's getting trying to get the running back depth, but these guys are just handcuffs at best. Greg DeLuch for tight end. DeLuch, that's not Dolchich. Anyways, Tajay Spears and Raheem Mostert rounding out the running backs, which he's like again just kind of grasping at more running backs late because he just ended up getting into this desert over here, and with that pick of Cook, kind of forces him to like get more straws at running back, which just I don't know, just like a funky build. I'm not too thrilled with it. I give it a C.
All right, we're a little closer on this one. I came in at a C plus on this team. I think he went with a hero RB build. I like the QB tight end stack with Lamar and Andrews. I think he had a really good, first 4 picks. Started off great, but then kind of hit like a weird of a little dead spot to me with the guys that were kind of available. Some guys I'd rather take later, where you feel like you're reaching, but the guys I ended up getting, just guys, I'm not too fond on, per se, like Hollywood Brown, Dalvin Cook, who's not even signed. I'm okay with Godwin as your wide receiver too, but again, I prefer him as your wide receiver 3.
And Baker Mayfield over there. Yeah, I don't know.
It's not great. He's on his 4th team in two years, so it's like.
But he did do good in LA, though. He did do good in LA. That's why he's getting those shots.
But there's stuff coming out of camp reports where normally everything's all super positive because guys are just in helmets and shorts, and they're saying Trask is outperforming him right now. So it's not looking great over there. Again, but when you go with that type of build, when you get that tight end early, take that elite quarterback and you kind of rainbow it there with running back, wide receiver, tight end, quarterback, kind of just puts you in a weird little spot there. I think he finished it out kind of well. I do like the Jamal Williams pick. They signed him to good money. So I don't think he's just going to go there and do nothing. He will have a role. Singletary, I like
those gold light touches and steal it away from the Camara.
Yeah. Singletary, I like, taking a shot on Spears just in case anything happens to Henry. And then a Mostert pick just kind of down here at the end. But I'd still like to get the most out of, every pick. So I'd rather have that be somebody maybe like Hodgins or someone else that could, return some better upside than that. So, for those reasons, I came in at a C place on this one, Jake the Snake. So
don't hate me. Also, then.
Yeah, don't hate me, but wasn't feeling it all the way. Got off to a good start, but then just kind of lost me there.
Fizzled out, right? It fizzled out real quick.
Yeah.
That whole cook, man, I don't know. Maybe it's not even just the cook. It's just the rest of the build, the way it's set up.
It's just there. Sometimes you're just a victim of your draft spot, and sometimes you're just in that dead zone. and you got to take somebody. So it is what it is.
Right.
All right, so we'll move on here. Let's go to, I think it's Blow Rep. Here
Blow
in
Rep.
the what is he in? The fifth spot here, starting off with Cooper Cup. So go right ahead, read it off.
Yeah, so we got Cooper Cup. Then he goes with my man Tolly Pollard. Then Calvin Ridley coming back. Aaron Jones. So you go in 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs. Bring it up with Brandon Ayuk. Then he takes his tight end Kyle Pitts in the 6th. And then we got Jason Smith Enigma. Enigma. How do you say it?
Jackson Smith Njigba.
Enigma. JSN for short. And
Njigba.
Khalil Herbert. Brian Robinson here. So and he's got a good, decent lineup right here. I like so far, you know. Then he ends up with just Tua, you know what I mean? Like way late here in the 10th. I really like this, man, because he waited on his QB. I think he got a decent QB. And he ends up getting Kyler Murray at the end as well as like a backup QB or whatever. He might be a starter at some point. Who knows? However this works out. Because as long as Tua stays healthy, he was putting up some decent numbers last year. You know, with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle as wide receivers, it's not a bad deal. You just got to stay healthy. I also like Romeo Dobbs, Dustin Kincaid here, backup tight end here, and he ends up picking up who is it? Roshan Johnson. I'm not really too excited about him, but you know he's a rookie. Let's see what happens, right?
Like him.
You like him? You like Roshan?
Yeah. Good pass catching ability too.
Yeah, it's late, so it's a good spot to take him. So you know
that's the kind of pick I'm looking for towards the end of a draft.
Yeah. So I ended up giving him an A.
Oh, there you go.
No,
all right.
Sorry, it's a B.
Oh, B.
Sorry.
Okay.
I read it at the end.
I was gonna say we were close on that one. I came in on an A.
Did
on
you?
this one, yeah, for Blow Rep. So
I'll give him an A. I'm close to it enough.
The only thing that was keeping me from basically giving him like an A plus were the quarterbacks. If I had to really nitpick, or even the Pitts pick, but I don't hate where he got him. It's still a little early, like in the mock tonight for mock of champions qualifying mock. He actually went in the 8th round, I believe it was. So I think in the 6th round, well, not too bad. You know, I probably still would have waited. Could have maybe got somebody else there. One of those guys on the churn, or maybe like a Dotson or a QJ, or Dobbin, Swift, Rashad White, maybe someone like that. But again, that's just kind of nitpicking. Other than that, I mean, I like pretty much every single one of these picks. Just had a real nice balanced build. Wide receiver, running back, wide receiver, running back, wide receiver, running back. All the way down basically. And then still gets an elite potential option at quarterback here in Tua. Again, the only other thing, like I said, I'd have to nitpick is this Kyler Murray pick, but it was the last pick. I'm just not big on Kyler this year. I don't see how I can come back and play this soon. I think he tore his ACL, like week 7, 12-month recovery time, and it's a 3-win projected team. Like, why would they even rush him out there? I doubt he even plays. I know he's saying he's trying to get back week 1, but he has a guaranteed contract. He's playing either way. And they may even move off of him or try to just keep him healthy so that they can trade him when he is healthy. So a lot of just outcomes there. Again, it is the QB2. So like I said, it is still nitpicky. Wasn't enough to push it out of the A.
So you like the running back stack though with Khalil Herbert and Roshan?
Yeah, because because he's trying to get one of them. I actually took Khalil Herbert in my Scott Fishbowl team as my RB3 there. So I don't hate it. I think he has a chance to be the, every down back. We've seen him last year when he filled in for Demont.
So you think he's handcuffing Herbert?
Yeah, so I think he's handcuffing Herbert or trying to get one of the starters out of that. And
out of that backfield.
I think you remember last week where the guy kind of took him on the turn like 9-10.
You gotta pick one or the other, and it just you don't handcuff your RB3 basically.
Well, unless there's a pure pecking order. In this case, I like it because you're trying to just capture that backfield you're trying to capture it. So to me, and because you don't know who's going to come out of it. So, again, I don't hate it because he has it spread out. What I was trying to say is, remember last week, the guy that drafted both of them did it from the 1 spot. And I think he did it like in the 9th and 10th round. He got both of them at the 9-10 turn, or like the 11, or I think it was the either 8-9 turn or 10-11 turn, and that I don't like it because it's like back to back. So to me, that's
No,
almost like wasting a
that's
pick.
yeah.
But if you can get it with this many picks in between, then I don't
And that
mind,
late, yeah, I guess I don't mind it that late. I don't know.
yeah, especially if he has
I'm
some
still not a
flex
fan of
upside.
that. I'm still not a fan of that.
Well,
But
there you go.
I get where you're going. You know, I just think that you could go other places in the same team for the same guy. If it's
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? Like, I
fair
could get
enough.
a handcuff. I get a handcuff, but that's what I
That's
would
why
say
you
right
have
here.
your thoughts and I have mine, and that's why fantasy football works, because you got different opinions, or else trades and things wouldn't happen if everyone was just going by
Thinking the
the
same thing.
one uniform list and one form of value. So what is one person's trash is another person's treasure. So
Exactly. Exactly.
there you go. All right, so we'll move on here. Going to our ambassador extraordinaire, Mr. Wilson 27 here out of this 4 spot. Go ahead and tell off his team.
Okay, so we got Wilson 27 with us coming in with Austin Eckler, Ramondre Stevenson, DJ Metcalf, and Debo Samuel going 2 RB, 2 wide receivers. Get another wide running back in Miles Sanders, then Kadarius Toney. So he's just flip flopping between wide receiver and running back at this point, and finishing off with Rashad White before he ends up taking his tight end Pratt Freiermuth here in the 8th. Again, I think we were just talking about Kyle Pitts. Literally, I think we could have waited on him a little bit, but it's the 8th, so why not? Still doesn't have a quarterback at this point, but he ends up with Nico Collins and then Harris as well over here, Damian. Then he finally ends up taking Geno Smith, in the 11th. Um, it's if you like Geno and whatnot, he had a decent season last year. If he repeats it all this year, that's a good place to take him. I mean, you're getting money's worth for sure. DJ Sharko, I know Anthony likes Gallup coming over here, and then Hodgins at rounding it out. You know, I like the beginning top. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be relying so much on Geno, but I mean, I could see it happening, and if that happens, the rest of the team looks pretty decent, especially the way it starts. It. I don't know if Debo is going to go that high this year. I think he was a little early for Debo. That's just on my end of it. Things. It's still a solid B team though.
There you go. We had a shout out to Ron Kala here in the chat. What's up, Ron? And he said, "Hey, it's Frank. I know, man.
What's up?
Frank's back, baby. Frank's back." Jessel says he's just here for his A. We went backwards this time. So as much as we don't want you to go ahead and rewind just to go back. I'd rather have you, take a while and keep watching us to realize that we were going in the wrong order this time. So we actually did your team first, Jessel.
Just to switch it up for you
Yeah,
guys.
exactly. Just to switch it up a little bit. And just since you're here, what did we give him? Let me go back. I give you B plus, man. So it was almost an A. You almost hit an A for me.
I had to be on him also, so it was almost consensus with them being
Almost there. Ron says he definitely gets an A. I give you an A, Ron, for being in the chat, buddy. That's where we're here for, man. Shout out. What's
moved
up,
up
Ron?
to B plus for Joe.
Love having him here for sure. Absolutely. There you go. B plus. Give it to him. So we appreciate it. And see, like I said, it is Jessel Jones.
Yeah. It
So
is
that's
Jessel.
how I found it. Let us know if we're pronouncing that right. I hope we are. Maybe it is pronounced a little different, but either way. All right. So who are we on here?
Wilson.
For Wilson. Mr. Wilson. All right. So for Wilson, he comes in here with a robust RB build, starting off with the 2 running backs right out of the gate. Then takes another one, in Sanders. I do like the Geno DK stack. Think he got good value versus production on that pick. I do like the running backs, the whole running back room, but he did give up value at wide receiver by doing that. I just think it was way too early on Kadarius Toney. Obviously going in for surgery, and he even mentioned that in the draft. So that was a little tough. Just to me, I mean, you're okay having that running back in your flex, which is fine, and have PPR. But I would like to see, just some better wide receiver depth there, and would just preferred wide receiver there once he decided to get Sanders as his wide receiver 3rd, or got his RB3, and then just waited on tight end. But I do like Pat Freiermuth and where he got him. I think that's, if you are going to grab him, that's the spot you should do it. And just I do like the later picks in Chark and Hodgins. I've been big on those guys, as you know. But to me, it would have been in that higher B range had he gone with like Olave or Smith or even T. Higgins in the second, and did more of like a hero RB build. Then to me, having those other picks fall a little different because you'd be able to get some of that running back value there when the wide receivers weren't as good of options like that Tony pick. He wouldn't have been so kind of handcuffed of being forced to go wide receiver there had he got that one extra receiver instead of Stevenson here in the second. So, that's just my feeling on it. Like I said, leaning towards a C plus, B minus on this one. Just kind of in that range for me.
Nice.
All right, so we'll move on. We're gonna go to Don Flicked here. Go right ahead. Read her off.
Oh, so I got some good notes for this guy. So Don Flick, you got Jamar Chase here starting off at the wide receiver spot. Chris Olave, T. Higgins. So he's going, definitely deep on the wide receivers. And he ends up with Joe Burrow. Hopefully he's okay. How does that whole injury situation working out for him?
With who? Burrow?
Just walking with the limp.
Calf strain? Yeah, he's going to be out for a couple weeks for sure.
Yeah.
At least 3, if not longer.
It's not so bad. It's not terrible, but, it's not helping the situation. But he does got the stack in T. Higgins and Joe Burrow. Ends up taking DJ Moore, who I'm not really, see how that goes. James Conner is first running back off the board for him. Then DeAndre Swift on the new team. Let's see how he does in Philly. Then we got Zach Charbonnet, who I like there at that spot in the 8. Think he's actually filling them out pretty good, going 0 RB at that point. Michael Thomas. Then we take Chikonze Okonwo here. I can't say his name. Chiga Okonkwo. So yeah, I really like him, though. There's some good things been said about that guy, but I think that his time's being eaten up now that they ended up going with Hopkins over there, and then you still got to feed Boyd. There's not going to be much left for you. Not Tyler Boyd. Help me out here. It's not Tyler Boyd. I just said the wrong guy here. Who's the other? Traylon Burks is what I was thinking. With Hopkins, and then it doesn't leave much for Okonkwo. Tyler Agier, though, last year was doing pretty good. Let's see if he comes back with something this year. But Jay Mingo over here, Jonathan Mingo, not really sure to have too much on him. Daniel Jones taking him late. I like Daniel Jones there. I mean, that's a good pick, and I think he ended up with Zeke here. Was not even on the team. No point in picking up Zeke. I don't see anybody even taking Zeke. He might be a waiver wire pickup if he even gets signed. What do you think, Cam?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. You can hear. Oh,
okay.
Shit. You're back on video even.
Yeah, I tried. I tried to run it through my phone now. For some reason, my webcam thing wasn't working here. But
what's up, Drunk Squidward?
Get it figured out later.
Frank, you're back. Yeah, I'm back, man.
See, everyone missed you, man. Everyone missed you. I wish I got that. They're like, oh man, it's Rasta again. Exactly. So let's see. We were on Don Flick's team here.
Don Flick's, yeah.
All right. So for Don Flick, I came in here as a B. Went with the classic 0 RB build. I would have taken a shot at like maybe Watson or D Hop.
I ended up giving him didn't give my score. I give him an A, honestly.
Oh, you gave me an A on this?
Yeah, nice. I just like the wide receiver core, man. That's solid, dude.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can't.
They had me at the wide receivers, good enough running backs in this case. I think that'll work out.
There you go. So, where was I? What was I saying?
Sorry about that.
No, it's all good. I try to give you your time so then I can have my time.
Yeah.
But it's all good. I like it. I like the back and forth. But yeah. So plus I've been dealing with my camera anyway, so it's all good. I'm more here now. So QBs. I said QBs are great. Elite passer. Stacked with Chase. With Burrow there in the 4th, got good value on him. And then got a guy with rushing upside in Jones. Not too fond of the running back room, but that's how it goes with 0 RB. Could have went like a modified 0 RB by maybe grabbing Sanders or Madison or even Akers to pair with Connor. A pick before that. But instead of DJ Moore, but it's not the end of the world to me there. I still like that potential upside wide receiver 4 there with DJ Moore. You just hope that James Conner scores a touchdown. kind of each week or gets like 4 to 6 catches, or else, who knows what's going to happen there. Kind of like you said, I don't think Elliott would really go there if he was signed. So taking him kind of in mocks at this point, kind of like with Fournette and these other guys, even Dalvin Cook, to me is just kind of pointless because it's fake value. I mean, I guess if you're drafting best ball, but when we're doing actual redraft mocks here, like he's not on a team right now, so there's no point. Like you don't have to draft him. Like I always want to see what would happen if people were like, okay, he's not playing for 6 weeks, right? Like, where is he actually going to go at this point? Or like someone has to get hurt for him to go. Like, this is just a guy you take off the waiver wire like 3 weeks into it if he ends up signing somewhere, right? Yeah. Or if he does end up signing, then we can figure that out and his draft, value would stack there. So I think practice drafting him now is kind of pointless. So I wouldn't do it to me personally. That's why I don't think I've really drafted Cook or anyone like that, Fournette, Hunt, any of these guys that aren't signed right now, especially when they've been going to multiple teams and haven't signed. That just shows you something's not happening.
Like the offers, yes, not like the offers are coming fast and heavy. You know what I mean?
You're seeing other people go to a team and then boom, they sign, right? Like in other positions and things like that. But these specific running backs, something's not adding up. They're either asking for too much or they're asking for too much as far as playing time and they're not accepting like a backup, type role. So to me, it's just kind of like a wasted
pick. Which didn't bode well for those guys that were holding out, like Barkley and Jacobs, but Jacobs signed his thing. So, you know what I mean? It doesn't look good for those guys because those guys there's guys out on the market. They're not even getting signed. You know what I mean? You're not that far or that much better. Like, you're really going to get out there and get signed right away? I'm like, you may not.
Right. So, like, if it's one of the best ball, teams or something and you want to take them with one of your last couple picks or a couple of them in the last couple rounds, but to me, around 14, even of 18 is still a little early for that. So, and especially when coming on a redraft, it is. But even with all that negative, that was just more like a PSA. As far as the team itself, I still came in at a solid B with this team, like you said, because that wide receiver room, I would like it even more if it was full PPR. But I think you could get by in half PPR with the team he constructed here. I think at full PPR, I'd definitely be closer to a B plus, A minus, or even A on this team. But since it's half, and with a couple of those things noted, I'll take it down just a bit. But I mean, overall, man, I like it.
I like what Otto had to say. The Eagles haven't had a bell cow running back since McCoy. He doubts this is going to be, basically the bell cow guy, but he's good for PPR, and I think it's very similar role to what he had in Detroit. I think so too, but I think that's enough. I think that's what you need out of him, especially where he got him at. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like he, spent high capital on Swift. I mean, you got him in the 7th round, so why not? I think you're getting, good value for the guy or the right value for the guy at that point, right?
Right. Drunk what Squidward's saying, is that Frank? You're back. Yeah. I don't know if you put that one up already.
No, yeah. We talked about that earlier.
Oh, okay. Must have been when I was dealing with my camera still, so it's all good.
Yeah.
There it is. And yeah, Drunk Scooter is saying, I can't believe you guys are almost at 1K subscribers, man. Neither can I, bro.
Yeah.
We're almost like 70 away. That. Yeah, we're almost 70 away, man. Again, we can't thank you guys enough for coming out here, blowing up the chats, subscribing. Our ambassadors, of course, working hard, getting us, new subscribers and telling people about us. I guess I'm a couple beers in now, but telling people about us. And again, it's an awesome feeling, man. So if you guys are watching right now, make sure you hit that subscribe button, man. And if you're already subscribed, hit that like button. It helps us just as much. Helps with those algorithms, gets us out into people's feeds. They'll come across us, and hopefully, especially with the mock tourney and things like that, hopefully we can get in. So for anyone that's here in this chat that's not in the mock tournament yet, make sure you guys go in that description. The lobbies are open. Go grab yourself a spot. Come mock with us and get your chance to take home some cash. So yeah. Let's see. I think there's some more stuff going on in the chat. You see anything there?
Yeah. John Squidward, JT could have like a Josh Jacobs season trying to get paid and traded.
And then look how that worked out. Now he ain't playing.
No, he ain't playing.
Because he got franchise tag. Exactly what happened to Barkley is about to happen to JT. So just buckle in, folks. Buckle in.
There was a clip out today where JT certainly looked like he'd be limping. Yeah, but they didn't say it was a leg injury. It's back injury now.
No. The back injury he debunked by saying, I never said anything about a back.
Oh, yeah?
He was already on the PUP list because of the ankle. But that was, how many months ago? Like, why is Like, did he not have tightrope surgery? And I mean, Cooper Kupp dealt with the same thing. He got the surgery. He's okay. But also remember, Mike Thomas hasn't played in like 4 years because of the same type of injury. So you never know, man. These things could be finicky.
Each player is a player. His body, you know.
Fish. And what's up, Fish? Shout out to the ACG Veterans Invitational, the Marines Viper Division, Fantasy Fish out here in the 10 spot. I think he might have just done his picks in the league, actually. It was getting close to him. But he and I are in that with Jeezy's league, the charity league there. So shout out and shout out to him there. So there we go. And Jessel saying, anyone trying to mock, throw the link in the chat, man. You guys can get it going right now.
Right.
Absolutely, get it going. I'm just watching a bunch of mocks, so I've been dying to mock because we ain't
see
mocking
the small
anymore.
little boxes in 41. So I think that we have the link to the mock in the description, or we will right now. Maybe I don't know.
What is it
for the sleeper? Like
so Ron, if you want to see the actual draft board, go into the description. Right at the very top, it says view draft board here. Click that link, and it should actually take you to the exact draft room. And you can see all the picks and stuff there.
You could look at the draft board while we're talking about it and not be on the thing and still watching at the same time and all that other thing. If not, well, just to send it invite. I'm
in the middle of a stream right now, bro.
He's like, we can
maybe when I'm done
mock off real quick, right?
While I'm streaming, we'll mock.
Yeah, we
That'd
got Ron
awesome.
Swanson and Jeezy to round out the thing.
Yeah,
so
we're
let's
almost
not
done.
get all sidetracked.
We're getting close. Yeah, we're getting close to an hour here. Yeah,
we're people of the we like to interact with our viewership, and we're people men of the fans or whatever. How do the men of the people here?
Show for the people by the people.
Yeah, exactly. So we're always about your guys' chat and what's going on.
Absolutely.
Out here. So what's up?
Yeah. So you said priorities. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like send me the link. I'll get in.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe
sure.
I'll get one right here.
We'll get in tonight for sure.
Once we get off the show. Once we get off the show, we can get in on one.
We're down.
All
right. So let's go.
Finish off with Ron Swanson, going with Jay Jettas, Najee Harris, and Jahmyr Gibbs, and then Drake London. Starting off with 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers. Classic build right there. And then taking George Kittle, which to me it's too early. I think I would have waited for him at least 1 or 2 more rounds. Then he's going back off with Dobbins, and then Kamara getting deep on those running backs. Then he goes Brandon Cooks, who just got over there to Dallas. I've seen some nice film on that. He's getting some nice deep passes, but I've also seen Dak miss one and get intercepted, which is not nice. Then you got some juju going on. Cortland Sutton. I'm sorry. I always say Carlos. I don't know where we said that. Anthony Richardson way late, which I like. I like where he's taking him. That's risky. Taking a working QB, and let's see how he works out. But then he ends up taking Zay Jones and then 2 more quarterbacks in Kirk Cousins and CJ Stroud. I would have been fine with Kirk Cousins. You didn't need to bring up another rookie running quarterback and CJ Stroud into the whole situation. This is not a dynasty build here. You should have only had drafted 2 quarterbacks at the most. So you kind of lost me there. I think he was going for possibly an A score, but with that, it gave him a B.
There it is. I wasn't too far off with you on this one for Ron Swanson. I came in at a B-. To me, basically went with a anchor wide receiver type build. I'm fine with the QB. Like that he stacked Kirk and JJ there with how late he did it. Really nice. Snuck in that AR pick, like you said, a little earlier than that. And I think that's a great plan if you plan on getting AR there, because that's about where he goes. And especially if he pretty much planned on getting Kirk Cousins later, I think it was a brilliant move. Not feeling the CJ pick. To me, that was a little wasted, kind of there in the last round. I'd rather take a different type of lotto ticket, there in that spot versus a 3rd QB and a 1 QB build. But other than that, I just, I want to get the most you can out of every pick in a draft. You're not going to lose your league in the draft, or you're not going to win the league in the draft, but you can definitely lose it. Not necessarily with your last pick per se, more so with those middle round picks. But to me, just getting the most you can out of every pick, or at least having a story you can tell with it, or a reason why you're doing it. I just couldn't see the reason, for taking CJ there.
Yeah, I'd rather have that last pick be a lotto pick or somebody who's going to be like this other guy that took Jerome Ford last. You know what I mean? Or Chuba Hubbard,
Chubb goes down,
who's a handcuff. Mims, who's coming up over here. You know what I mean? Like those kind of guys are better guys to be taken as your last pick.
Your Mims, maybe even a
yeah.
Josh Downs or something like that because you had AR.
Even Blow
You know,
Rep
go
who
grab
ended up
Josh
picking
Downs.
Kyler Murray last year. I mean, I don't know. You know, like Anthony said, you know, this guy may not even play it, but at least took him with his last pick. You know what I mean?
Right.
You already had 2 QBs. You didn't need a third. That's I guess
Right.
let's move on from that. That's killing
Yeah.
the horse.
It's okay.
Still B.
You
Still
jumped
B.
in on my.
Still solid.
You definitely stopped my flow of my read back here, but it's okay because I like when you jump in like that. No, it's all good. I like it. We're not just reading stuff off here. I like the interaction.
Yeah.
But yeah. So where was I at? So just the other picks. They're getting the most out of your picks. And then the running backs to me I think are solid in this build. I just again personally prefer the Hero RB build because you know. The running backs that he did take in the 6th and 7th, I'd rather just grab a wide receiver there in the 3rd, and I think the team would have been better. You know, I don't like the early tight end pick, like you said, with Kittle to compound that. You know, you're kind of doing like a mistake on top of a mistake. Not necessarily a mistake, but you're just kind of combining 2 different builds that way. Just kind of makes that wide receiver room lack, and I don't think it's that much of an advantage at tight end with the question marks surrounding Kittle. Maybe you could argue if it was Waller, and I think he even went before Pitts and before Hawkinson, if I'm not mistaken. So just again, a little questionable, and that's coming from a Niners fan. I mean, you see the hat here, but you know when we're talking fantasy, just the way I see it, doesn't mean I'm right, but hey, just not something I'd want to do there. But like I said, it's not all bad because again, I came in at a B-. It is half PPR, so again, I think the wide receivers that he does have a good chance at scoring some touchdowns. If things, you know, work out well. And yeah, I mean, I'd like to see a little more. I mean, Jefferson's definitely holding that wide receiver room together.
Yeah. Sure.
And it just, you know, any team with Jefferson on it pretty much has a chance.
Him in London. I like London.
Yeah. I mean, London's all right. I'd still like him more as a wide receiver 3.
Really?
Again, if you would, I mean, if you would have taken Higgins or like Ridley or somebody like that, and then had London as your 3, and then Brandon Cooks as 4, to me that team looks a lot better because he still gets Dobbins and Kamara here as his RB 2 and 3, and then down here in this other range when you're taking guys like Juju and Sutton, you could just take like a AJ Dillon, maybe a Damian Harris or Brian Robinson, Elijah Mitchell. Like there's so much good value down here late versus the wide receivers. If there's like an injury or something goes down to the starter there. I just think it should return a lot more value than these guys where you're not totally comfortable starting them every week. I mean, you'll throw them in there.
It's almost not as if it's going to be more like a win. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's running backs. I mean, look at Jerick McKinnon ended up being like the running back 5 over like the last like 5 weeks of the season or something crazy like that. I mean, he would a little more crazy in the playoffs, but still, I mean, it's just there's going to be guys like that. Jeff Wilson was that guy a couple years back. There's always that guy, that running back that's going to come off the waiver wires that we're all not drafting now. So again, that's why we're taking those last picks. Take your shot on like the, like we said, the Jerome Fords, the Roshan Johnsons, these type of guys that, could have value week 6, 7, 8 when we're on here talking about our waiver wire ad show, and you already got them on your team.
You already got them on your team, exactly.
So you don't got to worry about spending any fab or what your wire order is.
One of my pet peeves is looking for a guy that other people
and he's already on my team.
He's already on somebody's team, not your team necessarily, but on somebody's team.
Definitely
like,
my team.
Yeah.
So all right, man.
Here. Let's get to the last guy here as we finish out the show because these guys are like, you guys do
Devontae Freeman last year too.
Yeah, I'm thinking of something. Oh yeah, remember Devontae Freeman? Yeah, Devontae Freeman won people leagues. Like literally, definitely a good call on him.
Definitely.
Anyone else feel like Kittle may turn into Waller other than Rasta? I think so. I think that if everybody's offensively working properly in the 49er land, he will be blocking more from McCaffrey than catching balls and doing the other stuff because the offense definitely runs through McCaffrey now. That's just
we shall see. I can't wait for that. Yeah. I just want to see CMC with the whole offseason and stuff like that. He has handshakes with guys now on the team. Like they got a whole team camaraderie going on.
Oh, did they?
I like it. Yeah, it was weird bringing him in after they like game plan to stop him a few weeks earlier, and then now he's on your team. It's kind of hard to like bring a guy in like that, like mid-season when you're already like in that mode. But I think now with the full off season, having those OTAs and team trips and all that kind of stuff. Like I think he's for sure one of us now, and I can't wait to just see that just on a pure football level. But
Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
which
And
means
definitely, yeah, we'll be
which
doing a
means
giveaway at 1K
will
for
be
sure.
nothing. He will be blocking for his running back.
No, he ain't blocked. We don't need. We got a good line. We don't need to
Yeah,
keep an extra blocker.
Yeah.
But we're all good. So yeah. So let's finish it off here with GZ, and we'll try to get out of here and not be on for hours and hours tonight.
All right. So GZ ends up taking CMC. We were just talking about here, and Josh Jacobs. I like it starting off like that. You know, two good running backs. You can't go wrong. Then you got Devontae Smith over here in Philadelphia. Justin Herbert, who's at I think he's going to have another great season coming up. Evans, who I'm really worried about, just because of the new QB situation going on over there. Same thing for Johan Dotson, another new QB situation. So I really didn't care for those wide receivers he ended up taking. You know what I mean? Right there, that whole and even Quentin Johnson. I'm like, not too snazzy. Took David Njoku, I think, where everybody's basically taking him in round 8. AJ Dillon, really like that. Foreman as well, I like that later. Took Dak as his backup. Reed over here and Bobby Trees, taking some, hopefully flyers on some people here, and Gerald Everett, a sneaky, possibly tight end this year. There's some hit and miss on this team. I really, solid lineup for the most part. The wide receivers could use some help. Again, in Mike Evans and Johan Dotson, I guess just because of the new QB situation, but I still give him a solid BB plus.
Nice. Sorry, I got in this. I got
Chat,
in that. No, I got in the that mock draft with Jessel right now.
Oh, this guy.
So I'm in the 10th spot right now. So, we're almost ending here. We'll get it started. I can multitask here. So shout out. I just dropped the link in that chat too. So maybe one of those guys that are in that chat will come and join us here. Let me make sure I turn that on so I can get it. All right. So let's make sure we get with the whole first reason why we're here. Mr. Jeezy. All right. So for Jeezy, I came in here with a B plus on this one too. That's what you said, right? B plus on this one?
Yeah.
So yeah, so B plus, double hero RB build. QBs are great to me. Herbert, QJ stack is nice. You guys know I'm big on QJ this year, just for his potential. If Jacobs plays, then he's easily has two of the top backs, pretty much easily there, with decent depth. And I would like someone else besides Foreman. Like he's kind of projected third in that running back room. To me, there's other handcuffs like I think Bigsby, or someone else like that only needs like one, injury, or could potentially have some standalone value
to happen, yeah,
on their own, versus two things, to have that happen. I'm gonna try a Kelsey build in this one over here, from the 10th spot. So for those reasons, that's what kept it from being an A for me. But otherwise, he's just kind of missing that prototypical wide receiver one. I like Smith and Evans. They can potentially finish top 12 any given week. We've seen Evans fall even like as low as the 7th. So it could have been a little bit of reach, but I know GZ likes Evans there. So overall, I like this team. I feel comfortable rolling it out. Week 1, there's a lot of pieces I do like with it here. And, like I said, Foreman and Bobby Trees, our own Bobby Trees, basically RIP, man. I think his fantasy days are behind him. I would prefer someone like Mechie, give me Nico Collins, who I think went a round or so before that. But give me John Mechie, over Robert Woods at this point. Someone with some upside. And that dude has some shake. I've been watching some of those camp videos that came out on him. And, he's looked like he picked up where he left off. So, kind of liking that Houston team this year. It's sticky. Some guys are starting to stick to me over there. So that's where it came in at B+.
It's like coming in over here, right? There's always that one team that's like, they've been doing bad. Now you get it worked out and they turn around, start getting some valuable fantasy players. I think there's a lot of value out of those kind of guys because you do end up drafting them late, and they're the ones that do, get those wide receiver 2 numbers, maybe not super wide receiver 1s or whatnot, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. And Ron, no, I can't multitask because I missed my pick, but it wasn't too bad. It was only second round, so I got Kelsey and CeeDee Lamb to start out of the
Dude,
10
that's not
spot.
bad.
So we'll see what happens.
I didn't get the invite. I didn't get in on this. Oh well.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe he didn't send you the invite. I'm on the list, man. I'm on the list. You got to be on the list with these guys.
Oh,
These guys are marking all day. But yeah, no, it's definitely hard to multitask on that one, but I'll definitely finish it out. So yeah, man. So other than that, man, this was the last grade we're gonna officially, or the last mock we're gonna officially grade here this season. The rest of these we will be doing our mock draft tournament, which again started out today. The mock this week is full, but I am taking people for that want to be on standby. We had a couple of people that couldn't make it today. So I was able to get and fill those spots pretty quickly and still had a couple people left over as well. So if you are interested, just make sure you DM me. If you do see those links are late and just come, or if you see that those mocks are filled, and then just at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, hang around that time, 15, 30 minutes before. Let me know you're available. If I have any openings, I'll come to you. I'll send you messages to all the people on the waiting list, and then it's first come, first serve. So make sure you have those notifications turned on if you want to get in the mock. So other than that, man, before we get out of here, of course, I got to thank our other sponsor, TrophySmack.com, man. So for those of you guys who want to take your league to the next level with like a belt, a chain, one of those Kirk Cousins chains, maybe a nice trophy, or even step up your loser game, get one of the toilet bowls or something like that, TrophySmack.com is where it's at. Make sure you use that promo code GetRight at checkout, and they'll take care of you over there. So links in the description for that. And again, use that promo code GetRight.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely. So other than that, of course, I got to say thanks to our other affiliate channels here, and make sure you guys go check them out. We got Tim and AJ over there at the Fantasy Frontline podcast. We have Cody McGoats, Shirtless Pat, and the fellows over there with the Checkdown podcast. And then we have our own Dim Boys, DC for Life, Mr. Adam J, with the Dead Zone Fantasy Show that'll be coming soon. So make sure you guys go in the description, throw those guys a sub, help support the Get Right affiliate channels, help them grow as well with us. So yeah, go do that for us here. Go get yourself in a mock draft to earn this Tournament of Champions moniker. I think Mr. AJ from the Fantasy Frontline is the one who took it down last year. So if you want to come out and beat him, let's see what you got.
Reigning champ.
Yeah, he's taking all challengers. So so it is what it is. So let's see. Other than that, is there anything else you have to say? Any news or anything we missed?
No, I think just to go back to answer. I think who was it? Ronald or somebody else? Oh, Drunk Squidward. Somebody asked about if we're going to do a giveaway. Yeah, Drunk Squidward. He's going to do a giveaway 1,000 subs. Yeah, we're working on something. We're thinking about something. We got to do something special for that. So we'll get that on. Obviously, it's probably maybe one of those you got to be watching and be on and leave a comment, and maybe we'll pick a comment live or something. Who knows? from the loyal fans or something. I don't know. We'll think of something, but we're definitely doing something for the 1,000 subscriber giveaway.
Absolutely. Tune in for that. Make sure you have those notifications on so you can see it drop. That's one you'll definitely want to watch. So other than that, man, the only thing else I have to say is, besides me coming up on the clock here again, I went Lab and then I went Deebo Samuel just to change it up. I didn't want to draft Amari Cooper again. I think I have him like on every team so far. Ken Walker, Brees Hall, Aaron Jones, they all just went, and they left me Travis Etienne, so I will take him. So I started off Kelsey, CeeDee Lamb, Deebo Samuel, Travis Etienne so far in this league. It's two wide receiver, 2 flex.
Nice.
So we'll see how that ends up. But yeah, so if there's anybody out there who is interested in like writing for our website, maybe you're interested in starting your own show, maybe you just want to come on here, be part of Get Right, be here with Mike, myself, with Frank and Dustin. Maybe you just want to do like waiver wire ads or a trade show, something like that, man. If you're interested in just getting into this industry, hit me up. Send us an email at getrightff@gmail.com, or you can DM me on Sleeper or Twitter at Rastafarian, and you guys know how to spell that probably if you've been with here for us for a while. So yeah, if you guys are interested, man, I'd love to hear from you. Again, it's all in the description on how to get a hold of us, and let's talk. So other than that, man, for myself, for Dustin, for Classic Mike, who will be back here with me on Friday for our semifinal round. Are you going to come on Friday for the round 1 semifinal?
Oh, I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, okay.
We'll
got plans with the lady. We'll see.
I don't want
Here we
to
go.
right now.
We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, so Classic Mike and I'll be here on Friday, man. We'll get that semifinal round 1 underway. It'll be the top 3 drafters from all 4 mocks this week. Kind of the best of the best will be competing to move on. The top 3 from that will make it to the finale on September 1st for their chance to win $50 cash, maybe a little more other prizes we might put along with that. So again, just make sure you guys stay tuned for that. We'll see you guys on Friday. Other than that, you can cue up the intro, man. Let's get out of here.
Peace out. Peace out.
Peace out, fellas.
Wanted to write fantasy is the play. Marking often, but I tune in every Friday. Strategies provided, I will lock in every way. So go and roll your sleeves up.